Hi, everyone. It's Jane McLeod. I'm live with you today to talk about yet another of our way cool 12 positive communication standards. And we have Just Start solutions for these, and they are available to you. But I want to talk specifically about one today that I personally have trouble with, and that is body language. So, what I mean by body language is these nonverbal messages that we send that are our facial expressions, our volume of our voice, our tone of our voice, our posture, any body movements, any hand gestures. And these make up between 70 and 93% of our overall communication. I want to tell you, I'm in huge trouble with this positive communication standard. So, what experts tell us is that 7% of all meaning, 7% of all meaning comes from the spoken word. 38% of meaning comes from the tone of voice that you use, and 55% comes from body language. And as a reminder, that's your expressions, your facial expressions, your posture, the hand gestures that you're making. So when it comes to your body language, the problem with controlling it is that you often don't choose it. It's something that you just do unconsciously, but that with training, you can change that. And what tends to happen is that people are totally unaware of the messages that their body language is sending. I just got off the phone yesterday with a skilled human resources executive that was interviewing another senior leader, and she shared with me that his body language was off-putting, that his casual demeanor and way he sat with his chair tipped back and his arms crossed and wiggling his legs during a job interview for a senior leadership position made the rest of the interviewing team go, what's that about? Like, why is he doing that? Right? Why is he doing that? So the same thing can happen when your employees in the clinical setting, as well as really any work setting, encounter a difficult situation where they have to provide service recovery for a situation, right? They have to apologize. You can close down someone else's mind about you and have them label you as providing an insincere apology. She didn't really mean it, just by your body language, right? Just by your body language. When a clinician is explaining something to a patient that's important for them to know, if the clinician doesn't make eye contact and doesn't really truly slow down and emphasize certain words, especially when we're doing, a surgical permission to operate, or telling someone about the outcome of a diagnostic test, the patient and their family members may miss it. Well, it wasn't important to you when you were conveying it to me, so it must not be important to me either. So the really important takeaway is it's vital for us to become sensitive to our body language and sensitive to how others perceive us. One last story. I was in a situation where I was in front of a very large audience, and I walked up to the front of the stage, and the audience was spread out in front of me. Sue and I were together, and Sue was opening this event. And I stood next to her for probably 15 or 20 minutes while she did her shtick, right? While she did her part. And then I introduced myself, and in my usual way, I pointed out something funny or self-deprecating about myself. Fast forward 2 or 3 hours later, I'm in line at the ladies' restroom because everyone knows that in healthcare situations, the line for the ladies' restroom is a lot longer than the line for the men's restroom. So I'm waiting in line behind this chick, and she turns around and she says to me, I really liked what you had to say out there. And she said, I'm so relieved you're not what I thought you would be. So what does that mean? She said, well, when you first walked out there and Sue was introducing you, I thought, she's really intimidating. In fact, I'm not going to enjoy her talking at all. In fact, I think she's kind of crabby. It's like, oh my goodness, that's not what I thought I looked like. But what great feedback for me to have, right? What great feedback for me to have. The first thing I did was, Sue, I always have to talk first, all right? I can't just stand there because people have a bad impression of me. A, I'm tall, right? Tall people are intimidating. Anyway, note to self. What do you look like to others? What do you sound like? Think about some of the most important communication, verbal communication that you do, whether you're a clinician or a leader, and how do you carry it, right? How do you carry it? Think about that. You might want to ask someone you trust. All right, guys, thank you very much for listening. Have an amazing day. If you'd like to learn more about our Just Start solutions for positive communication, please go to our website, www.capstoneleadership.net. It's right on the homepage. Thanks.